Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK Journey video. So in this AFK Journey video, I'm going to talk about the Spider Wasteland Battle Drill and give some opinions and thoughts about this game mode so far. So first of all, right, Spider Wasteland, I think in general the map is very well designed, but as usual, the very first map that they release is always very overtuned to the fact that, you know, we just reached the boss fight over here, we have about 15 hours left and we are definitely not clearing the boss. So it has always been this overtuning thing every single new battle drill map. I don't know what's wrong with like them not being able to find the balance or like a close balance, because it has always been the case where, like, even for top server guilds, for example, like my guild over here, obviously it's not the strongest guild, but we are still top 3 in the district. So if you're not killing the boss, then everyone else down there is not killing the boss at all. And that could also be attributed to the fact that maybe the general morale is slightly lower, so not a lot of people are giving their all for this game mode. But there's a lot of other issues with this game mode which I want to talk about that I think is making people not so into this game mode. Okay, I myself included, by the way. So first of all, I think the very first reason, it has always been how the bosses were designed. So the bosses itself, I think every single season there has always been like a new boss mechanics and there has always been something new that the boss is trying to do. But I think in terms of the stats behind the boss, there is this magical defense value as well as physical defense value that they don't reveal about. But for most of the battle drill bosses, it has always been more skewed towards the magical defensive side, or magical teams in general. Like it's more weak on the magical defense side. So if you take a look at the current damage runs, the top teams are still the teams with ODs in general, right? So one thing which I think they're trying to do is you have this very powerful unit that is consistently there, and you can use it to deal with the boss itself. That in its cost is actually not a bad idea, because it's actually very free-to-play friendly, because free-to-play players can just slowly invest in their OD and then eventually they will be able to attack the boss and then do well for battle drill. But at the same time, I think for people who have a lot of unit developed, there isn't really much variety in terms of team building, and it has always been consistently like those few magical damage dealing units or even teams that are really good for battle drill itself. So that's one of the reasons why there isn't much, I'll say, like incentive. Right, number one, there isn't a lot of rewards to be creative. Number two, like there isn't much room for creativity in the first place, because like in terms of the pathing itself, I think it's creative, but in terms of the team building side, it has always been consistently the same few magical teams. They're always on top of the damage dealing compartment. And one thing I think could definitely help with this is them just simply giving buffs or power-ups before fighting the boss, or give the player the choice to choose a select power-up unique to their account, right, for the boss fight itself. Because first of all, right, it can be easily done, because within this capture bonuses here, all these buffs are all selected by the players themselves. So I think it's quite easy to introduce a buff that makes Zoo team a lot stronger, and then suddenly you can use a Zoo team to deal with the boss, right? You can also introduce a buff that makes physical attack a lot stronger, and then suddenly you can run 3 physical teams against the boss itself. So it's not like a must-have, I would say, but it would definitely be a good to have to incentivize creativity, and that is one way to make people a little bit more excited, rather than just using the same team over and over again, even though it's very friendly to the free-to-play players. Okay, so that's one thing which I think slightly hindering the game, because of the similarity in terms of the team build. So far, it has always been magical teams. So there is good and bad to it, but I think giving the choice, right, giving the option to use a different team could definitely make this game mode a little bit better. So that's for the very first pointer I want to talk about. Secondly, one thing that I noticed about this game mode, like it has always been a mixed bag of nuts in terms of whether or not people are motivated to play. So let me know down in the comment section below what you guys feel about battle drill. Do you guys enjoy this game mode? And if not, why do you guys don't enjoy it? And if you guys enjoy it, why do you guys enjoy it? So we just get a general consensus as to how people feel about this game mode. Because for me, I have never been really motivated to play the game mode, because the rewards is not that attractive. Like 500 gems I think is good, right? Every 2 weeks 500 gems, but like 500 gems is something that is, number one, sometimes really impossible to achieve, sometimes really easy to achieve. So I will just treat it as a good to have if I get it. If I don't get it, it's perfectly fine because it's just way too hard. It's 85% left on the boss. We are left with 14 hours. We're not getting that. And the other way for you to get more rewards, or the other way they're incentivizing you to play more, is through this reputation treasure right here, where you have keys, you have acorns, you have invite letters, you have also more guild coins, as well as a bunch of gold down there. And then from the treasure chest or the chest of valor over here, you can actually get guild coins, which is also a pooling point for you to play. But then you don't need to be even so hardcore to actually max out the reputation treasure. And in terms of the chest of valor part, the RNG factor in terms of the rewards is interesting, but then like I don't need to put in more effort to get more keys, because the way the keys drop is very RNG based. It doesn't mean that the more damage I do, I have a higher percentage of getting the keys. So honestly speaking, when you put all those factors together, there's just not a lot of incentive to actually be hardcore, to do better, to get more damage, or find the most optimal teams for most people who are not even caring so much about the game mode. So that's one thing which I think they should definitely look at to make people more interested. Like that would definitely make more interested, right? Like that would definitely make me more interested, because I'm more incentivized to play if there's more freebies in the game mode itself, right? Obviously that would definitely incentivize everyone. And at the same time, right, I think personally in terms of the guild reward side, there isn't really like much guild rewards for getting a good battle drill ranking. So this is definitely one way that they can give a little bit more resources to incentivize the top players to try a little bit harder. So that is something which I don't know, like, I mean, the title is okay, but dude, it's for 2 days and and it's like, oh yeah, you're top 5, congrats, here's a title for you, that kind of feeling. So feels very lackluster here. And in general, when you combine all the different levels of rewards I mentioned, there just isn't really a need for you to be really hardcore, because even if you're really hardcore, you complete the map, the most you will get is probably just 500 gems more than everyone else, and that's for your effort. For somebody who's playing just casually, clearing all the tiles itself, they can still max out the reputation treasure and they can still get the rewards from the chest of valor itself. So it is not a bad thing, right, that they are not pushing you to do this actively, but that is also the reason why this game mode is not receiving a lot of attention in the first place. So I think in terms of the rewards portion, they don't have to give like incredible amounts of rewards, but it's just a good to have additional resources or even premium currencies as a form of rewards, so that the people will want to play this game mode more. So that's just my opinions, right? Let me know down in the comment section what you guys feel, and just give me a general thoughts of this game mode itself. I personally am not a big fan. I probably won't be until they have some massive change in terms of the rewards portion, or in terms of how this game mode plays out, right? In terms of the strategic value that it offers for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Just a mini rant as well as a feedback session for one of the battle drill, or one of the game mode which we have been playing a lot, or we have been playing for a really long time, but like I feel that it hasn't really changed too much since the start, and it's a problem because I feel that it's a good game mode that deserves more, but just isn't getting the attention that it should. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. See you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.